Um, so I think the first place where it started was for my brother. He's a few years older than me. In school we had a relatively fleshed out band program. So in fifth grade you could start any instrument you wanted. Well, not quite any. Percussion, brass, flute, woodwind, stuff like that. So I don't know, band instruments. My brother did percussion, and me being a young kid, everything my brother did was cool, so I decided to also do percussion. When I was, has to be like 11, I did that for 2 years. In seventh grade, we had a jazz band. I decided, yeah, why not try that? I had no experience with a drum set at all, just like band drums, like snare drum, stuff like that. So I decided, why not try jazz? No experience. I took a few lessons with my then band teacher. That was around a year. And then after that, we moved back to Germany, so all lessons pretty much fell away. I started discovering metal music. I decided to try drumming to the music, because why not? I like music, I like drums. I could combine them.
Hey everyone, welcome back to the All Music Matters in That podcast. I'm your host Brian, and joining me today is another fellow out of Germany, Keno Wessels. How you doing, brother?
Hey everyone, I'm fine. How are you?
Not too bad. And actually, I had stumbled upon your channel quite by accident because I think I was looking for people to give shout-outs for my YouTube channel. And actually, what is your YouTube name? I'm trying to remember off the top of my head.
Keno Drums.
It is just Keno Drums.
YouTube.com/Keno Drums if anyone wants to check that out.
That sounds good.
Shameless plug.
And actually, I had to admit, because you were into a lot of the same music that I was into. You listened to a lot of the metal music too.
Yeah, I was going to ask how you found me. Just completely by accident?
Completely by accident, because normally if I subscribe to like other drummers, because some of the things like or to help build a subscriber account too is to like go out and like subscribe to other channels, leave comments and stuff like that. Make sure the algorithm picks up on you. So I saw you, and I saw you were also into like the same music that I was into, and I think it was Amon Amarth's "Cry of the Blackbirds." And that was actually where I found out, be like, oh, this guy likes the same music, and so that's why I subscribed. And then I figured, figure's worth a shot, see if he wants to say yes or no, and just took a gamble and it worked. So here we are.
Yeah, I appreciate it. It's the first time anyone's really tried to reach out to me.
Oh, really? So this is your first time doing any sort of podcast or interview?
Exactly, yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I've only been doing this for a bit over a year now. I started uploading pretty much January 1st, 2022. I've uploaded a video every single week from that point. A few times I got a bit sketchy. I uploaded a day late, a few hours late, but I've kept it up. And I'm actually pretty proud of myself for that.
You know, I've always thought about trying to do like the once a day videos, but it seems like that would be way too hard. Especially if I assume you also got to like work a full-time job too.
Yeah, pretty much 30 hours a week. Plus, I graduated last summer, so there was that. So
pretty much you have to pay the bills and everything too. So
no, I still live at home, luckily. So
oh, do you?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm kind of on the same
line
too.
I don't have to worry about that, but
yeah, the parents don't charge you too much for rent, so that's at least the good news. So
yeah, I'm lucky in that regard.
I do have to ask, so what part of Germany are you in?
The south, near Bavaria. So pretty much exactly on the border.
I was going to say close to Munich or close to Fussen?
Stuttgart, the nearest big city. It's like an hour away.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I actually been to Germany, and I've been there a couple times, but I've only been like to Munich. So
yeah.
So unfortunately, my knowledge of like any other parts, even like the big cities like Cologne, Berlin, all those other ones are pretty limited outside of like what they give you on news and textbooks. But I actually have interviewed a good few people out of Germany too. So I'm pretty well known. So needless to say.
So where are you from? If you don't mind me asking.
I've been born and raised in Pittsburgh, PA. And
okay.
So you said you were in the States.
Yeah, Cleveland.
Oh, you were in Cleveland.
Yeah.
I guess, what was that? Was it like some sort of international study or?
No, it was from my dad's job. We moved there when I was 1.5. and stayed there for 12 years. In 2017, we moved back, and now I'm here.
What's your dad do? Is he like part of the military or something? Or is he...
No, he's an engineer for a German company. They make sensors, stuff like that.
That's pretty cool. That's news to me. In fact, I didn't know Cliff and I had some sort of project like that, but that's pretty cool. And that's actually how you learned some of the English, or was it kind of like...
Exactly, yeah. I grew up learning both, so...
Now they give you English classes.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
All right, that's pretty cool. All right, so Keno, welcome to my podcast right here. So the way this works, just treat it like a conversation between friends, but we're just going to get to know your story both as the drummer and as the individual too. So I sent you the questions right here, and are you ready?
Yeah, let's go.
All right, so we'll start with the first one right here. Tell us a little bit about yourself. How did you get into drumming?
So I think the first place where it started was my brother. He's a few years older than me. In school, we had a relatively fleshed out band program. So in 5th grade, you could start any instrument you wanted. Well, not quite any. Percussion, brass, flute, woodwind, stuff like that. It's like, I don't know, band instruments. My brother did percussion, and me being a young kid, everything my brother did was cool, so I decided to also do percussion. When I was, like 11, I did that for 2 years. In 7th grade, we had a jazz band. I decided, why not try that? I had no experience with a drum set at all, just like band drums, like snare drum, stuff like that. So I decided, why not try jazz? No experience. I took a few lessons with my then band teacher. That was around a year. And then after that, we moved back to Germany, so all lessons pretty much fell away. I started discovering metal music. I decided to try drumming to the music, because why not? I like music, I like drums. I could combine them. And 2 years later, I found a teacher after being pretty much self-taught and all that stuff. Bought a double kick pedal half a year later and started practicing, really. And then around when I was 17, I'm 19 now, by the way. So when I was 17, I decided I want to do drums music professionally. I took AP Music in high school and graduated. And now I'm working a few jobs, earning a bit of money before I start studying music in Osnabrück, hopefully. And that's pretty much it.
I guess what sort of jobs are you doing right now? Is it kind of like your part-time sort of like, I don't want to say landscaper because we're not in the full summer stages yet, but I guess what do you do?
I'm a baker.
Oh, you're a baker.
Yeah, there's a chain bakery in my town, and I work a 30-hour a week job there, so I don't have a lot of time for drumming, so not as much as I used to, anyways. But I make do. I have like 3 days off a week, so
yeah, you got to do what you got to do in order to pay the bills too. So
yeah, I guess and having money is nice.
That is true. And I was going to ask, is this like your typical bakery with like the cakes, the cookies, and I guess, so what other sort of German treats do you make?
So we have a lot of bread, a lot of buns. We do have sweets, cake. We also do coffee, so yeah, pretty much everything. It's like a cafe almost.
You know, that's what I was thinking too, and because I think when I used to take German back in high school for a little bit, it's now been a little bit of a lost start because after going to college, or as people in Europe would say, the university or whatever, but unfortunately it became a lost start because I didn't have a German program there, so I didn't really maintain my German afterwards. But I know in terms of the culture and everything, it was like the cafes would kind of like integrate like bakeries and stuff like that too. So
yeah, pretty much.
So I see what you mean.
You also get breakfast.
Well, when you say like bakeries too, like out here, there's what's called the Oakmont Bakery, which is like huge for like selling the cakes, the sweets, cupcakes. You pretty much name it too. So
yeah, bakeries are more pastry focused in the U.S. I feel like
something like that. Yeah, and yours seem to branch out a little bit more in the
yeah.
And get back into the music you were talking about. Did you get into like some of the German metal groups like Sodom, Destruction, and it was a Creator? That's right.
I never really got into those. I'm more into the melodic death metal side of things. So I listen to everything, thrash included, but I prefer the symphonic elements to metal a lot. So like, stuff like Lorna Shore, you know them?
Yeah, I've listened to them. They play the Pain Remains a lot on the Sirius XM radio, so I've heard that song a good few times.
I had that album on repeat for the entirety of last year. Like 3 months. It's insane.
It is, yeah. But you know, the only three that they do play from them, They Know Nothingness was one, but that's actually how I first found out about them, was that song. And then after they released their recent album, it was like The Pain Remains, like 1, 2, and 3. So
yeah.
So I know what you're talking about, yeah.
Yeah, I discovered them obviously like a bunch of other people with To the Hellfire.
Right,
and then they released In Return to Nothingness, the entire EP. And it's crazy. That's the title track of that EP was the first one that almost brought me to tears. The first metal song. And it's fucking blackened deathcore.
You know, yeah, I found myself actually having shedding a little tear here and there ever since I listen to them, because there seems to be some sort of resonance with it too, because it really touches on those hard subjects.
Yeah.
So yeah, I can see what you mean too. But have you heard of those three groups I mentioned?
I've definitely heard of them. I just really haven't felt the need or the desire to dive into them really.
Actually, I think it was the lead singer from Sodom's birthday not too long ago.
Was it?
Yeah.
Okay.
His band name was Angel Ripper, so you could say it. You know you're in a metal band when you got a name like that too. So I think it was Tom. I think that was his first name. I could be wrong.
Okay.
Please don't hurt me. That's what I'm gonna say. Please don't hurt me. All right. So I see your drum set behind you right there. Is that an electric set?
Yeah, it's an e-drum set. It's not perfect, but it's what I have, and it's a lot easier with noise, stuff like that. Because my parents' room is pretty much right next to mine. And I don't want to. It's a lot easier when I can drum pretty much whenever I want to, and not bother anyone.
I guess, so what brand is it? Because I think the lights.
It's,
you have red lights. Is that what's making it look red?
It's the Elise's Strike Pro Special Edition. I bought that. It's got to be 2 years ago now. So summer of 2021.
I guess, how many toms do you have? And obviously you got
I got
double bass, yeah.
2 rack toms, 2 floor toms, 1 on each side. It's in cymbals I have 2 crashes, a ride, 2 chinas, hi-hat, and I have, because why not, I mapped splashes and stacks onto the rims of the toms. So I have a lot of options.
Is that also a hybrid set, or is it just strictly electric?
No, it's strictly electric. It does have mesh heads, but I don't think you can put real heads on there.
No.
It's kind of a shame, though.
You know, I was actually looking at hybrid sets, and I did see one. It was really cool at a music store, but it's like an arm and a leg just to get those, because
yeah,
they look like legit sets, because they got like the roundness. They make the toms look pretty legit.
Roland does a lot of those, I think.
Yeah, and have you always rolled with Elise's, or did you try Roland and then you kind of integrate it into
No. They're always way too expensive. The first real drum set that I owned was a Yamaha DTX 502, I think. So also an e-drum set, but didn't have any mesh heads, just hard plastic. So, but the mesh heads are already such an improvement.
Yeah. I think DD Drum was trying something new, because I think when I had actually fixed my snare not too long ago, because when you do lots of blast beating, the snare starts to wear and tear at some point.
Yeah.
But after I did that, he actually told me DD Drum was just trying something to make like a set that would be acoustic, and all you had to do is just flip a switch, and it would go right into electric style sort of set. He didn't give a date. I mean, it sounded like it was just probably clever marketing, but I mean, I'm thinking,
probably.
Okay.
Or an April Fool's prank.
I mean, I would say like, hey, if it could do that, I mean, I'd probably buy it. But
that'd be insane, though.
It would be, yeah. But I mean, these days technology can surprise you, so
yeah,
let's see what happens. To be determined.
Yeah.
But I guess. Oh, sorry. What were you gonna say?
Yeah, when the time comes, I'm definitely gonna buy an acoustic set. I just you can't compare it. Especially the feel of the hi-hat. That's a problem I've noticed a lot. The opening and closing mechanism just isn't the same. Especially with mine, it's not the best. It feels kind of rubbery, kind of gummy. Just hard to get any kind of precision in there. And the chokes as well on the cymbals. That's always a problem.
So you prefer more the acoustic set than
I definitely prefer acoustic. You also have more options when it comes to sounds.
I'd say, yeah, the electric gives you more of the options, like maybe change it up. You can just go right into electric.
Well, yeah,
so,
but
or EDM or something, stuff like that. Yeah, so I can see what you mean. Yeah,
I mean, you just have you have 1 zone, 2 zones, 3 zones, and that's all you got.
Just being able to like let loose and stuff like that.
Right? Yeah,
or maybe it's just, I don't know how they define like feel. I guess how would you define that? Is it just like something that just resonates with your body or something?
I don't know. It's that the cymbals don't swing the same way as on an acoustic. The drums don't resonate the same way. They don't feel the same. I don't know.
It's something like that, but
it's a matter of preference.
It's a drummer thing.
Yeah.
Just leave it there. So what sort of sticks do you roll with?
I think they're 5B Extreme Vic Firth. I prefer the extra reach you get.
Yeah, sticks wise, I actually roll with Vic Firth too, and I want to keep saying it's 5A, but I think every time I look, I'll probably say like 5B or something like that. So
yeah,
but it is Vic Firth.
It's pretty much the same.
Just so long as you know how it works, and it's what.
Yeah, exactly. Something I've experimented with is using marching sticks, just for a bit of training, because I've noticed that when playing with marching sticks, you get tired much more quickly. The stick swings much differently. You get a lot more power though. I don't know. It's fun. It's a fun experiment to try.
Have you ever done a whole lot of songs with blast beats, or do you just kind of do that for fun?
My blast beats aren't really good enough. I feel like to really put that on to really demonstrate that, but I've been practicing a lot lately, and at some point I'm going to do a song with blast beats.
I mean, yeah, if you're listening to Lorna Shore, so
yeah,
you can see why.
You can forget about that. I'm not. I did one Lorna Shore cover, Immortal, as a 75 subscriber special. I thought it sounded pretty good at the time, but looking back, not at all. It's still pretty impressive because the song is like 130 BPM, not 260, depending on how you're looking at it. But I'm pretty proud of that.
Yeah, especially considering like how fast their music is, and
yeah,
I would say my first one actually doing a blast beat was with Napalm Death, and the song was Unfit Earth. So actually, I have goofed around with a couple from Enslavement to Obliteration album too. Even though a lot of them are like just real short songs, but it's like real quick as well.
I mean, with Napalm Death, you're pretty much right there with short songs. I feel like.
Well, it's funny too because that's how it like started off with them, and then I think right when Barney came in with the Harmony Corruption album, that's when they made longer songs. So that was where Unfit Earth, which was the song I played, and then I also did it. The Truth Be Known was another one. So I mean, I will admit I'm not the greatest, but I'm trying my best to at least match with the song. So
I'll also be the first to admit that my covers aren't perfect, but I'm rolling with it. I'm putting myself out there, and that's all that matters. I'm not trying to be the best. As long as you're
having fun with it, yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
That's where it mostly comes down to. I mean, you got to hit that too. Do you get those dislikes? It's maybe just like one thumbs down for like just one song.
Yeah, I mean, I've only gotten like 2 or 3 negative comments on all my videos so far. So I'm actually honestly kind of lucky.
I noticed that too, and it always seemed to always be the Napalm Death songs too. So I'm not too sure what's up with that. So
yeah,
I don't know. People are weird these days. But I guess don't talk about sticks. I guess when you do a drum cover, since we've been kind of delving into that, what sort of gear do you use, and what all do you use in your computer before you put it up on YouTube?
I have to say my recording setup is pretty unorthodox. I run everything through a mixer, right next to my drum kit. I have a program to remove the drums from songs. So I download the song, take out the drum track, using AI. Then I put it onto that, to the drumless track, no click, which probably is why the timing is so rough on some of them. Sue me. But so I run all that through my mixer into Audacity. I use my phone and my iPad to record the top cam and the foot cam. Upload all that to OneDrive onto my PC. Edit that together, and that's it. No funny business, nothing.
Short and simple too.
Yeah, very bare bones.
Does OneDrive allow you to edit on it, or do you have to like use another program in order to?
No, I use I think it's Power Director. It's called. It's super cheap, like $50 for a year. So it does what it needed to do.
Yeah, actually, yeah. Final Cut Pro is actually what I use too, but that's
okay.
It's a one-time payment, but you have to like have the Mac computer. So I don't know. Do you roll with Windows?
Yeah, I'm a Windows guy.
Yeah, to each his own too. So whatever you got to do to make work.
Yeah.
So.
And I don't really see the point of shelling out like Adobe level money for my 200 subscribers.
I want to say that would come later if you like get to like the 1,000 mark and then beyond at some point. Whenever you get to that point.
At some point it's justifiable, but not yet. I was also thinking of buying a camera for like 500. Decided against it though because I just buy a phone, and a new phone that's more than enough for YouTube.
I guess what sort of camera were you looking at? Because I think GoPros could work too, depending on what your preference is.
I honestly have no idea. I was just looking at anything cheap, like under $500. That was with a reasonable image quality. But now I have an iPhone 13, which it's fine. It's more than enough.
Fair enough.
I don't need 4K video.
Actually, I kind of roll with my phone too at times because if you notice in some of my videos, I actually do 3 angles depending on like how long the song is, or if I'm doing like a collab, for instance, I'll mainly just do 1 or 2 angles. But
yeah,
for those long drone covers of like 5 minutes and beyond, it would be like 3 angles. I got my GoPro to the left. I actually got this Surfola camera in my front there. Then my phone's to my right. And then whenever I do want to incorporate like the foot cam, I'll put my GoPro and just do the song over again. So I do it mainly in a couple takes. Are you normally able to get your songs in like 1 or 2 takes?
Oh God, no. I usually it takes me like 3 or 4 full playthroughs and at least 20. I do the first minute like 20 times just to get past that. If I have the song down, it'll be like 7 or 8 takes maximum. But today, for example, I came back from work at 4:30. I was recording for a full 2 hours just to get one good take. And it probably didn't help that I was swapping between like 3 songs to upload. But I got there at some point. And the final video still isn't perfect, but it doesn't have to be, like I said.
Yeah, you just gotta make do with what we got to.
Yeah.
So that works. Let's see. Out of all the metal drummers you probably listen to, I guess, would you say there's one that influenced you the most, or do you have many others?
Probably Mario from Gojira. He's like so many others. He's such a beast. His grooves are amazing. His feel. I'm actually getting a From Mars to Sirius tattoo on my shoulder in a few days, weeks. I don't know yet. I'm planning on it.
That's pretty sweet. I actually did see Gojira live. That was actually last year when they were touring with the other band was known as Vowels, and they were the opener. But they were before the headliner, which was Deftones. So did you see those guys?
I also saw them live. It's got to be like a month ago now in Wiesbaden. And that was, I think it was with Employed to Serve and Alien Weaponry. And Gojira was just insane, so clean. They're all such nice guys. They're also genuine. I love them.
You know what? I honestly, when I was kind of rating it, because when they were like playing together with Deftones. I would have told you Gojira did better than the headliner in that case. So, but you know what? After reviewing it, I would say Deftones was good in their own right too. But I would say Chino, unfortunately, was more focused on getting the crowd pumped up than trying to be more genuine with the song. And I noticed that with the Swerve City, and I actually videotaped a good number of songs from that concert too. Go check it out on my channel. So, a killer show nonetheless.
I'll do that.
Killer show nonetheless.
Yeah.
Did you have any others? I guess was it mainly just Mario?
There were quite a few. Bastian Thusgaard from Soilwork. He's pretty good. He's also super chill. You can't really tell when he's so he's a super relaxed all the time. You probably know him, El Estepario Siberiano, the Spanish guy.
Which band?
That guy's a beast.
Oh, which band is he in?
I don't think he's in a band. He's mainly YouTube.
Okay.
You have to check him out. He's insane.
I think I actually heard the name. So, but keep going.
Yeah, I probably have. He's all over the place.
Yeah.
Matt Halpern from Periphery. Off the top of my head, I can't think of any others.
I was say I thought we were going for top 5 right there, but you're at 4. Do you have one more?
Austin Archie from Lorna Shore, just pure speed alone.
It's funny when you actually mentioned Periphery too, because I actually interviewed a guy who used to actually play in Periphery. It was Travis Orban actually.
Oh, okay.
And
how was that?
It was actually pretty cool, and I was caught off guard because he actually played in a few groups as well. He was actually in Sky Eats Airplane and Darkest Hour, so he's been around a good bit. I have to check out his video again because boy, that was actually a couple months ago already. So the problem is you upload these like once a month or once a week, once a week. So you tend to
they tend to blur together.
Oh, that too, and they also unfortunately tend to get to them, like start editing and then release them like so many months later, maybe like 2 months later. So
yeah.
So this one, we'll have to see when we release this one, but this is pretty good.
Yeah.
I guess.
That's honestly super cool though.
Oh, absolutely. And he said he kind of, if I remember correctly, I think there was a little bit of a falling out. I guess it was more so creative differences and direction the band wanted to go to. So as you can tell, that normally doesn't end well, regardless.
Yeah.
So I guess let's jump into your YouTube channel. So you say you started it mainly December 2022. So are you just going to keep rolling with doing drum covers, or what else you got in mind?
Yeah. If something else comes along, if any kind of collaboration offers, stuff like that, I don't really want to do content creation full time. I mean, if the chance arises, I'll probably go for it. But the main goal is finding a band and doing that professionally, if possible at all. There's something about playing live. I haven't done it much, but the few times I have done it, it's been an amazing experience for me.
Have you played in any cover groups or any original content creator groups?
The only times I've played live was for it was kind of a band camp. We're there for 3 days. Everyone got thrown together into random bands. I mean, based on music tastes. And you had 3 days with a few coaches to help you write 2 songs, if possible, original songs. And at the end of that, there was a big performance with all the bands. They played live, presented their songs, and so, yeah.
It's pretty much like a school project, so to speak. Like,
yeah, pretty
put
much.
something together, and then let's release it to the audience.
And then present.
And then let's see if the judges give you a 10 out of 10, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
That sounds pretty cool, I guess.
Yeah, that was fun, though.
Was that like during high school when they were telling you to do something like that?
No, that was... it wasn't for school. That was to do that. It's like a yearly thing.
It actually sounds like those like summer camps, because that's like...
Yeah.
That was actually what my parents would do. They would send us to these summer camps to keep us preoccupied, because obviously they have to go out and work. But yeah, it wasn't anything like music school or anything like that. Maybe they were just trying to get you involved with like playing an
Just
instrument,
keep you busy.
something like that. But I never was good with like any of the brass instruments. Like I was absolutely terrible trying to blow into the little
Yeah.
device, whatever we want to call it, into the trumpet because you have to like press lips like something
Yeah.
like that.
I've never seen the appeal of playing brass. I played violin for 10 years, but as soon as I started drumming more, I decided to just drop that.
Oh,
'Cause it
you were a
wasn't fun
violin
anymore.
player too.
Yeah.
Oh, I was a cello player. Well,
My mom was a cello player.
oh, really?
Yeah.
And she do it.
My dad does violin as well, but my mom does that. She has a few students, so she teaches. My dad just plays like a few times a month, if at all.
I was gonna say,
That's for fun.
does she know how to do like the Bach, so sort of concertos?
Yeah, she's played a few of those.
She's that talented. Oh, that's so sweet. That was actually mine was actually 9 years because I did it all throughout elementary through middle school and up through high school.
Mhm.
Then again, once going off to university, they don't have that program, so it became another lost art. And eventually, I had to sell it, and then we. If you don't know the story, I at least told the story. Then parents know there wasn't a fad, so they told me like, "Hey, you want a drum set?" And
Mhm.
rather than just going for the acoustic set, because as you know, noise control and that sort of thing, they go for the electric drum sets. So
Yeah.
here we are. That's
Yeah,
how I've
we
been
are.
rolling with it. But I guess
I decided-
I was playing violin.
Um, it was mainly. So I started because like I said, my dad plays violin, so he said, why don't you play violin? I was 5, so I said, yeah, sure. I didn't have a choice. So I decided to keep going. Then at some point, just drums became more fun. I didn't want to practice violin. Everything I was playing was boring, in my opinion. So I decided to say, yeah, violin isn't fun anymore. I'm going to quit that. I'm going to do drums full time, pretty much.
You don't get to use your body a whole lot more when you do string instruments. You're mainly just
Yeah,
it's more strictly arms, and then for violin and violas, you have to hold it here next to your neck.
yeah. It's just a super uncomfortable position for me, I found.
You
And
know,
drums are just you just get to beat stuff for fun. It's
you get
amazing.
to legally beat something for fun.
Yeah, exactly.
So, it's funny we mentioned that too, because I think when I was originally looking at it as a kid, I was thinking like, "There's no way I'm gonna like it. Just put my neck like this, just trying to play
Yeah,
the small wood instrument." Actually, funny enough, I was looking at the double bass way back in like the 3rd grade. So
yeah. That's fun again.
there's that, but it's really hard to like lug around, and then like I think I
Yeah,
probably would have
fair.
been like hitting my ceiling to be honest. So so they're literally that big too.
Mhm.
So I guess talk about the YouTube channel. I guess is there something you hope to achieve with your YouTube channel? Going back to that.
I mean, the first goal was 100 subscribers. I got there. Next would be 1K. If it gets there to the point of 100,000 would be nice, but there's no end goal. I mean, the only thing I can think of is to be found by some band looking for a drummer. But any real goals are just keep doing that if possible. Just keep doing what I'm doing.
Yeah, I would say I use Bandmix a little bit, and actually I gotta get back into using that too because I think I had an invite from one of those groups, and I just ignored it. Saying like, this is getting a little too much. But Bandmix would be one because they help you look for musicians in and around your local area. So hopefully it's an international thing. I don't know if it's just strictly a state sort of thing, but
I think I've looked a few times on a website here as like backstage .com, something like that. Also, it's like Bandmix, just you can post an ad. I'm a musician looking for a band. I'm a band looking for a musician. Stuff like that. Let's put stuff out there.
yeah, I would say try something like that. But I guess you're more focused on trying to save up what you can from the bakery.
Yeah. And I mean, the end goal right now is going to college, studying music. trying to earn money from music, but that's I know the odds of that are kind of slim. So a kind of plan B would be a good idea.
I guess what do you want to do at university? You want to do like music theory, and then what do you want to do after you get out?
So the course that I'm looking at is actually popular music, so drums and popular music. They just teach you how to play drums. It's a bit of music theory, kind of a bit of producing. And then what you do after that is up to you. You can become a teacher. You can studio musician, session musician, pretty much anything to do with music if you're down. It's up to you to decide. Which honestly is it's kind of cool.
Yeah,
it's very open.
So yeah, it kind of opens you up to all these various paths within the music industry.
Yeah, exactly.
I actually, there is a friend actually from Germany who actually lives in Cologne, and he actually became a sound engineer. So he kind of does it as his own little business. But he also teaches as well. So he does a whole lot too. But I guess he also helps out with his family business. So his name is Julian Kramer. Have you heard of him?
It sounds familiar.
Premium Music is his YouTube name.
I'll have to check him out.
Dude, he's actually a real cool guy. I actually interviewed him a while back. Actually did a collaboration. It was a Silverstein cover, which I guess he was kind of going through a little bit of a hard time at the moment, but it looks like he's doing better now. I guess he just needs to make sure he needs to get his life in order. So let's see. We jumped through a good number of questions already. We talked about that. I guess we'll go ahead and jump into the fun questions, and I guess we'll see what else we get along the way.
Let's go.
So, favorite alcoholic drink? I'm assuming you drink.
Yeah, I do drink. I'm German, of course I drink.
Yeah.
I funny enough don't like beer though that much.
No,
I'm not a huge beer guy.
I would say you don't like the Bavarian beer either. I would say that's the best beer I ever drank in my entire life.
I mean, I can drink it, but it's not very fun to get wasted on, because I prefer vodka Sprite is pretty much it's my go-to if I want to get wasted. But having a nice beer with a steak, something or a burger I can go for that.
Every now and again, yeah.
Yeah.
I've always found it's better with crowds, to be honest. But that's just me. I don't know if you're kind of the same way.
It depends on my mood. Sometimes I go beer, sometimes just nice Coke Zero. I don't know.
I guess is Coke Zero your favorite non-alcoholic?
Yeah. I'm a simple guy.
Is it really taste the same as the original?
No, it's very different.
So I guess the sugar is what kind of makes it stand out. That's fair enough, actually. I'm actually Catholic, but I've given up Coke and products for Lent. So today was actually the first day I actually had Coke in about 40 days. So I swear I must have went through, it felt like kind of a withdrawal at times because I felt a lot of sorts and I felt tired. And now I actually feel good. So I think as I drink in moderation, I think I've always done it like once a week, but it's kind of hard too, especially you're doing a second job and one of it has to be working at a restaurant too, and you can't help but sneak a few fries and tater tots every now and again out. Yeah. Especially when you make a little extra. Do you actually do a second job, or are you just strictly at the bakery?
I just do that.
Okay.
I mean, 30 hours a week, there's not as much time, and I don't want to do anything else because I still want to have some time for me. And I also work on the weekend, Saturday, Sunday, so.
And that's for like overtime.
No, we're normally open on the weekend, so.
Oh, you're open on the weekend too.
Yeah.
It's also weird it would be Sunday because I think when I was in Munich, one day was actually Sunday, and they had like most of every other place closed. So I mean,
all the stores are closed. All the the restaurants are open. Stores are all closed though. Grocery stores. Sundays are everything's shut down.
We observe the Sabbath, as we would say.
Yeah, pretty much.
Sabbath. The Black Sabbath. All right. So In terms of your drum covers, is there one that's been particularly your favorite so far, or one you got in the works?
Um, Favorite has to be. I mean, I don't really have any favorites. A good one I did a few weeks ago was Elvati Deathwalker. That's a song I've been jamming a lot lately, and I decided to do a drum cover because why not? And it was surprisingly difficult. A lot of rudiments there, a lot of paradiddles, six-stroke roll, stuff like that. The guy flams his kicks. That's sometimes. So it was a fun challenge, and the song's a banger. So
Definitely the
that's
ones
what I'm
that
proud of.
challenge you. Definitely the ones that challenge you tend to be the most fun. But
Yeah,
I think it's the ones if you're able to like memorize it, like how things go.
yeah,
But the problem
definitely.
is, even if I'm like able to like bang out on my drums, I feel like when the camera is like rolling, I can't do that for some reason.
Yeah,
Do you find that happening to you as well?
yeah. I always I'm trying to stop doing that, but I always kind of uh put on an act, almost put on a show. Um, I don't know. It's when the cameras are rolling, I move differently. I don't know.
Yeah, I know what you
I'm
mean.
trying to change that though,
It's like the
to
red eye
be
of
more
death.
genuine.
I was gonna say it's like the red eye of death, but it's like it just suddenly grows like a million eyes, and they're all just staring at you. So
Yeah, pretty much.
yeah, I can see what you mean. So, in this one, was there ever a song that was too tough for you to play, and did you either give up or did you come back later to try again?
I'm on Marth's Pilot of the Thunder God. That's the double kick has always been relatively bad, relatively shoddy. I just for some reason I can't find the patience to work on it to a point where it'll actually get better. But that's a song that I've been trying to play for a good few years. And a few months ago, I covered that. It still isn't perfect, but it's pretty damn close. So I'm super proud of that one. And that's like pretty much 5 minutes of straight double kicks at 190. So I'm proud of that one, definitely.
I'd say yeah, I'd say most of the song too because it does slow down a little bit during the build up to the solo.
Yeah,
But yeah,
still.
still love listening to it on the radio too. I was trying to think of something else too because I know it's always been. It's definitely one of those songs that's definitely toughest too. But I'm always thinking in the beginning when you're just trying to get up right there. So
Yeah. And it's also
it's
such
a,
a cool
it's
riff. It's so fun to play.
that's why it's such. Is it actually more of their opener or is it more of their closer in the live shows?
I think it's more of a closer.
I would imagine, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that actually I feel like it would be a hell of a nice opener too.
Yeah.
I think I did open that album regardless, but okay. So there's that one. And what is currently your favorite song?
I have so many different favorite songs. Uh, all-time favorite, funnily enough, is probably Sabaton Swedish Pagans. That's the first real metal song that I ever heard from my brother. He showed me that one. Also, Falconer the Clarion Call, both power metal songs, funnily enough. And uh, right now I'm listening to a lot of Periphery, the new album that just dropped. That's such a banger. Also, their older albums, because I'm a huge fan of the musicianship and on display there. Super impressive. I can check my Spotify real quick.
Is that a Periphery? Is that the one with Wildfire?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
I was say yeah. They kept playing on the Sirius XM radio. Liquid Metal is the station, so I don't know if
Yeah.
you get that out there too.
Yeah. A lot of Trivium.
Old school or new one?
I prefer the new. Not a huge metalcore guy, more deathcore. But ever since Alex Bent joined the band, they've been in my top 5 for sure.
I noticed that's always a problem with like some groups when they change their sound on a certain album, and that's how it was with Trivium because when you listen to when like the first start off, which was like from Ember to Inferno and
Yeah,
then
that's like
Ascendancy.
For Emerald to Inferno, it was like straight melodic death metal. Everything from Ascendancy to like it's kind of like Vengeance Falls is metalcore. And you have Snowfall, which is nice power metal. And then everything after that is an amazing blend of everything. I'm a huge fan of that.
I tend to wonder if they were just trying to experiment with the sound, but I think everybody wants them to kind of go back to the Ascendancy days, because I thought that was like their pinnacle of greatness right there.
I mean, I guess I just prefer the like again the musicianship on display in the last 3 or 4 albums. I love that.
Did you know Matt Heafy is actually? I don't know if we should call it a podcast. I was just gonna say it's like mainly like a little talk show on that Sirius XM station.
Yeah, I've seen that on Instagram.
It's the Chaos Hour, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I also saw them live, also like a month ago.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, that was also such an amazing show. It was back to back with them and Heaven Shall Burn.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Is Heaven Shall Burn also a German band, or are they?
Yeah, they're German.
Okay.
Yeah.
I wasn't sure. I wanted to make sure because.
And that was.
I also know about the three with Sodom, Creator, and Destruction, but
yeah,
I wasn't sure about Heaven Shall Burn.
Yeah. So that was such a killer show. I did a bit of moshing, a bit of crowd surfing, the first time ever. It helped that I was there alone, so.
Was it?
Yeah, it wasn't bound to anyone.
Did they crowd surf you all the way up to the front of you to get taken away by security?
Yeah, exactly.
What do they do to you then? Do they have to like escort you out, or do they allow you back in?
No, they just set you down between the crowd and the stage. Then you run along the side, out to the side, and then you jump back in. Fight your way back to the middle, and then you go again.
That's what I thought too. I wasn't sure because sometimes when I keep thinking like sporting events too, when people like run out to the fields and stuff like that too, I'm thinking like they'll just escort you out and then they'll probably put you on bail or something like that. So I wasn't sure if it was anything like that. But
I mean, crowd surfing isn't legal. I'm pretty sure streaking is, or at least frowned upon.
Yeah. But I guess Trivium, did they kind of mixed up their playlists? Like, did they play some from like their old albums?
Yeah, the cool thing about them is pretty much every night they had a different set list, a few staples, but I think in 20 or 25 shows they played 50 different songs, which is something I admire about them. That they can just so easily change up their set list and still kill it every single night. That's super admirable.
Yeah, I would feel kind of a little intimidated by that too.
Yeah,
like,
definitely.
We're a band that's like been out for like 20 plus years already, and we got like so many songs that are like pretty damn good. So I was like, how are we gonna break this up? Let alone remember it too, since metal always tends to be complex and it's not maybe the most easily memorized thing to say.
That's still something I'm always kind of daunted by, is how they memorize the entire set list. It's like 1.5 hours.
And something like that, and then it's like you have to and assuming it's like maybe an hour at most, even for like the headliner.
Yeah, true.
And it's like you gotta like spend so many X amount of minutes making sure you know how the song goes down, and maybe that's like one of those like speed metal groups that's all just like blast beating or the gravity blast. So
yeah, they have it easy.
Sort of, I should say. Because sometimes it does change up a little bit. Are you familiar with the group Origin?
No, can't say I am.
They tend to mix up a little bit. Like one moment would be like those gravity blasts you hear, and then goes into your traditional blast beating and stuff like that. Sometimes it does slow down a little bit, so you have to like know when the tempo changes. It's like, it just has to click.
You got to know the song structure, but that's about it.
Pretty much. Was there any other songs off the Spotify list, or was that all of
them? That's pretty much all. But of Whitechapel, Opeth, Gojira, but I listen to pretty much everything: power metal, deathcore, metalcore, prog, gent.
You name it.
Yeah, you name it. I listen to it.
I would say the only problem I have with deathcore is it gets a little repetitive after a while.
Yeah, that's what I love about Lorna Shore though. They're mixing it up. There's some phonic stuff. Only thing that's missing now is some cleans, and then you're all set.
I feel like people are torn when it comes to like clean vocals because
Yeah,
like, clean vocals are not a lot of death metal.
it's not.
So,
It's not cult.
yeah.
Yeah, I love it though. Do it.
Yeah, it's a nice mix up. Yeah,
Do it's unique.
absolutely. And the thing is, you don't want to like be like a one-trick pony or like just keep repeating. Like,
Yeah, that's always the problem. You either alienate your old fans or your new fans. You can't do anything right.
Yeah, you just hope you get a nice paycheck at the end of the day. So,
Exactly.
and you made a lot of people happy. That's what it comes down to. All right. So Keno, we kind of breezed through the questions here pretty good. But did you have any questions for me or any last words you want to say before we jump into the last one?
Just thanks for having me on. For, like I said, my first real interview. I super appreciate it.
No worries.
I had a blast. I hope you did too.
I did too. And actually, you guys already had Easter dinner already, so it's actually getting close to your bedtime. So, but for the last question, this one I always like to ask because I like to at least get people's 2 cents on it.
Mm-hmm.
It may seem a little bit tough, but just do what you can. So, given what COVID has done, and you can also share your experiences with COVID too, because I don't know how bad it impacted you. Mm-hmm. What sort of message of hope could you give to musicians out there?
Phew, so we weren't really hit by COVID all that badly. I had it a few times. My mom, my sister, my brother, my father. We all came out unscathed though. But Jesus. Even though COVID hit the music industry especially pretty hard, a lot of people came through. Live stream shows, stuff like that. All that showed that you gotta improvise and just push through, and it'll get better. Yeah. Feel free to cut out that like half a minute where it was just silent.
No, you were good. I guess it is a little bit of a hard question too. And
yeah.
I actually had my first experience with COVID literally just last year. Mm-hmm. I always had to joke because I was almost shy of going 3 years without getting COVID. But believe it or not, it was actually in Music City, which is Nashville, Tennessee. Mm-hmm. It's country music center, but that's where a lot of musicians tend to go because that's where apparently you can make the big moment or whatever you want to call it. And even though my parents, we had fun, we bar hopped here and there, listened to all these bluegrass, country cover groups. It actually started with my dad, so I'm going to blame him that he got it first. So he got that, he passed it on to me. But
nice.
It was a little bit of experience. So
yeah.
But it's good to see you made through. And,
yeah, you too.
Good to have you along the ride on this Keno.
Yeah.
Sorry, I got a little tongue tied there. So
that's fine. I get that a lot.
No, you're good, mate. So, Keno, we've reached the end of my podcast right here. They breezed through the questions pretty well. I guess, did you have any final words or any final shout-outs you want to say before we close?
I got to shout out myself. I want to plug my YouTube channel. If anyone wants to check that out, Keno Drums. Everyone check out your channel. Probably already are. Yeah, just thanks for having me on again.
No worries. And all subscribers on your channel, come over to my channel.
Exactly.
Yeah. Very good. And I guess how else can people reach you? You just strictly on YouTube, or do you use like any other social media?
I mean, I have an Instagram account, also Keno Drums, but I don't post on there. I found it doesn't really help. I should post on there more.
I say, yeah, in terms of like trying to promote, and I don't know if you use Facebook or anything else, but
all
right, JG. Okay.
Yeah, just us Instagram.
All right. So everyone, my guest today was Keno Wessels, hailing from Germany. He's killing it on the metal scene right now. Hopefully he gets into a group one of these days. But I'll keep him in my prayers made, and hopefully he make it big one of these days.
So, thank you.
No worries.
I appreciate it.
So go subscribe to his channel, and Keno, you stay safe. Happy Easter.
Yeah, you too. Happy Easter.